Hi, I'm Pennie Hunt, and this is Heart to Heart. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about tip number 2 in my book, Love Your Life No Matter What, 76 Tips to Live with Love and Gratitude. Live your life with love and gratitude. And I have been posting, I started last week posting a tip a week. And then I posted some more little tidbits about the tip during the week and mentioned to you that I would do some videos and some other things here and there about the tip of the week. And so this is a special tip, special week for me. And so I wanted to pop on here and do a video and talk to you a little bit about it. I'm going to see if I can spin this. There. Still backwards. I am not an expert on spinning this around, so I don't know. But this is my new book, and it is 76 tips. And so this is week 2. And week 2, the tip is write love notes. So I want to talk to you a little bit about writing a love note. When was the last time you actually received a handwritten note? It may have been a while, because we are in this world of instant gratification, of texting, emailing, sending snippets on Twitter and Instagram, and everything is very quick, everything is very short, and everything is immediate. So to take the time to write a handwritten note, actually put it in the mailbox, actually send it to somebody, and wait the time that it takes for the mail to arrive at their home. And then remember the days when we get letters like that, and then we'd actually answer the letter, and the response would take another week to get to the person you were sending it to. And that was our life. That's how we lived. That is how we communicated. We sent a letter in the mail, handwritten, waited for the response back, and that was our communication. And now it is a lost art. We have lost the knowing, the understanding, the feeling of what it's like to receive those handwritten notes and letters. I will tell you that I have bundles of letters in rubber bands from people that are special to me in my life. I lost a very dear friend in the late 90s, and I had moved away from the community we shared, and she and I wrote to each other weekly, and I have all of her letters bundled up. And now that she's not with us in this life anymore, they have become a treasure. And it is so special to have it in her handwriting, her messages, her thoughts, her feelings. And we have lost that, because if you send emails or you send texts, they don't get saved. You might save some emails here and there, but for the most part, we try to delete and get our inbox cleaned out. We try not to have so much on our phone, so we delete the text. And so all of those kind of special messages are lost. I wrote this tip about love notes because I think it is so important. I write notes all the time. I have note cards that I had made special so that I could write notes. When I travel and I meet people, I always try to choose some people that have touched my heart while I was traveling, whether I was speaking or attending something else or for fun. I try to meet people, and I will send them a handwritten note afterwards when I get home so that they know that they touched my heart, that they made an impact in my life, and that I don't want them to think they were forgotten. And isn't that what we all want? We want to think that we are important enough for somebody to remember our conversation, important enough that somebody took the time to think about it afterwards, after they met us. So I write these love notes. I call them love notes. It doesn't matter when it is. It doesn't matter if it's Valentine's Day or the middle of summer or fall, or it doesn't have to be a Christmas card. But I call all of them love notes, because I think that's what I am doing. I'm sending love to the person that I met. I'm sending love in the form of this handwritten note that comes from my hand, from my mind, from my heart, my hand to the paper and out through the mail to be held by them, to be held in their hand, to be held by their heart. And so that is my intent when I write love notes. And so I wrote this tip encouraging you to do the same, because when you send a note of love, it is a gift to yourself. I always try to impress upon everyone that when you give something, it really is a gift to yourself. Because no matter what you're giving, it doesn't have to be a tangible, expensive item. But if you give a gift of your heart in the form of a message, particularly a handwritten message, it is a gift that you give because they feel your love. And the minute they read it, the minute they open it and see it in their mail, you are receiving love back. The energy that is put out when you send a love note, and even if they don't respond, but just knowing that they've read it and that it touched their heart, they will send energy back to you and love back to you. I want to also talk about how to make it personal. Don't just say something like, hey, great to meet you. I mean, you can do that in a text. But remember something in particular that touched your heart when you met them or when you had that conversation. Or it could be somebody, it could be your mom or somebody very close to you that you know very well, but you just feel like sending them a note, sending them a message. And make it personal. Give it meaning, why you wanted to send the message, why you were just thinking about them, what thought you had about them. Make it personal. I want to share something else that I wrote this week. As you know, I write a weekly blog. And this week, actually, Monday was my son's 34th birthday. And the last 12 of his birthdays, he has celebrated from heaven. And I say that because I always send him love. Just because he's not here with us, he still gets love from me to him. A celebration of that day when he and I together had this experience of his life beginning as we know it on this earth. And so the day he was born is very special to me. The day all of my children were born is very special to me. And it's a celebration of their creation. It's a celebration of that moment when we shared this new soul, this new life coming in to joining our human existence as we know it. And so every year on his birthday, I usually write about him. And sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's happy. It is whatever it is at the time for me. And so I don't know what I have touched here. I'm hoping that this is working. If anybody's out there listening, tell me that you can hear me because I'm not so sure. I wrote this time a letter. I wrote a love note to my son. And I wrote it about being his mom. I used to write when I was pregnant. I started writing to my babies. I would write things to them on their birthdays and on Christmas or holidays, or if something happened that I just had thoughts that I wanted to put down on paper to remember, so that at some point when I gave them this notebook full of writings, they would know that I wrote it in love and wrote to them. So I wrote him a letter like I used to when he was alive and with us. And I wrote it about being his mom, about things I was grateful for, about things I was sorry about things I wished for him. And it was a very personal love note. So just like in this tip, you can write love notes to anyone, even if they aren't with us anymore. And how special is that? I shared that very personal writing on my website, and it's out there for everyone to read. I will put the link below if you're interested, if you haven't read it. But I just want to encourage you to think about tip number 2 in my book, Writing Love Notes. I think it's important. I think it's a gift to yourself when you send that love out through the mail in your own writing and from your own heart. I hope and encourage you to do that. Start writing love notes of your own and tell me about it. I love to hear your experiences and how this has worked for you. I won't take up any more of your time. I thank you for joining me tonight. This has been Pennie Heart to Heart. Thanks for watching.